Good morning. It's 7 o'clock on Tuesday morning. I'm here in southern Sweden, feeling autumn snapping at my heels. Thank you so much for all the comments in the last video. So much wisdom in there. And later in this video, I'm going to go through some of those comments. But yeah, I'm here, standing in the entrance to this big barn where we're building a big recording studio in the back. And this entranceway is the last bit of the outer shell of this whole complex, which isn't insulated. This week I have a bit of mixing to do during the days, but in the mornings I'm going to try and deal with this. And when I say deal with it, I mean build an amazing frame for some huge glass doors and windows. This is basically going to be the kind of like shop window, I guess, for this whole place. So I guess what I'm going to do now is some sort of like a little sketch so you can see what I'm planning. But we bought some doors which apparently were for an old golf club. So we've got some huge glass doors and we've got the frame in here leaning up against the wall there. So yeah, in between some other stuff, that's what I'm going to do this week. So yeah, please subscribe if you haven't already, and let's see how I get on. I've cut a couple of slabs of larch that I had lying around. I've cut them down, and now I'm basically just preparing the surface. My idea is that I'm going to stitch these pieces of larch onto the sides, find something to do along the top so that I've got a nice kind of flat square surface to work up against, and then I will start building the frame, I think out of oak, because I have some oak drying in the solar kiln. But yeah, I've got a few more bits to do, like this thing's sticking out here, so I'm going to grind that down. I'm going to plane this down a little bit with the electric planer, get this kind of a bit flatter so that it seals a bit better. And I think I'm going to put a little rubber strip in the back here so that we get a good seal, so that we stop drafts sneaking in down the side. I can seal it all up anyway later with some mastic. Tiny little grains. I mean, it's just like pine, but it's tiny. Oh, what a shame to cover this up. Oops. It's the end of that blade. Shit, it's at the end of the whole planer. Okay, jumped ahead there a bit. These side pieces are on. And I don't have so much larch, but I've figured out a solution for the top piece, which is going to be two pieces. Anyway, here you can see I'm putting a little strip of this rubber seal stuff. I'm just running that along. I did the same on the sides, which is just going to be the kind of first line of defense against drafts and stuff coming through the sides here. Twins are off to school. Quite hard to film this and do it at the same time. Let's see if I can. Okay, I have fetched a whole load of oak from the solar kiln outside, and this is one that Ferdy prepared ages ago, which is really nice. But I think I need 10 or 11 of these boards, and I think I have 13 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 I've got. Okay, so I've got plenty. Some of them I can't use the whole thing because they get a bit kind of weird at one end. So what I'm doing now is I am using this solar panel rail, which is nice and straight, and I'm just ripping down one side of each board So then I can run them all through the table saw, get them all to the same width, which should be 18.5 centimeters. It's Thursday, early morning again. Can I finish this before Sunday night, before this video? Do I have a tick on my arm? No. Right, so those are all cut down one side. So now I'll run them through the table saw, cut them all down. I'll cut them down on one side to 19, and then I'll cut them through the table saw again down to 18.5. I'm doing that so that, because obviously I've just rough cut one side, I do find with the table saw that it kind of evens out a rough cut slightly. I mean, I hand cut these, but I was quite accurate, so they're pretty straight. But if I use that as my guide against the fence on the table saw, cut it down a bit on the opposite side, flip it over, and then use that fresh cut side against the fence, then in the end we should get it pretty straight. And then if I need to, I can just finish it off on the planer over there. So I'll leave a couple of millimeters extra from what I want on the table saw. That is all cut down now. Big bloody mess. This dust extraction needs a bit of tweaking. Yeah, I got to go and mix now. It's Thursday. Tomorrow I will try and plane all of this stuff. So then Saturday morning I can build some of the frame and at least get the door kind of, maybe get the door frame in on Saturday morning. Yeah, because we need to insulate this place. Well, I mean, it is insulated, but it's just this doorway. And also yesterday we experimented a bit with rubbing down all this old, I mean, you can't really see it now because it's covered in stuff, but this is a really cool little double sliding door entrance thing here, and we hit it with some 120 grit and it's come up really beautiful. I mean, look at the wood, it's so slow grown pine, beautiful stuff. So at some point someone's going to have the job of rubbing this whole thing down, but I think it'll be worth it because it will look magnificent. Here are the doors. This is some other bits I found in the solar kiln which I'm going to just use to cut down to make all the beads, all the beading for the windows. Here comes EQ. Okay, see you tomorrow. Okay, Friday morning. Gonna plane some of this wood up. So there's the pile, and I'm just figuring out here on my little sketch a couple of things. Originally I was going to build the entire frame as a frame and then fill in with little windows, little double glazed units. But I think actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to just build this, and then big window here, big window here, window here, window here, window here, and then these pieces in between can be actual movable shelves within. I think it'll be more thermally efficient, like there'll be less wood exposed to the outside, and I think it'll be cheaper to get the glass. I think these kind of sort of normal sized pieces of glass, like 5 of them is going to be cheaper than however many this would be, 15 or so of the little ones. It'll be easier to make. I just think it's going to be better. It won't look quite as cool from the outside, but I think it'll still look cool. Got some charcoal, so I look like a proper Japanese carpenter. But I have marked out all the pieces, so I know I've got enough. That stuff is left over, some of which will be the little shelves. But yeah, something I've learned from this is very good to have more than you need, because some of these are very wonky, and I've ended up being able to have pretty nice straight ones for all the main bits. Yeah, so now I will just plane it all up on there. Actually, first thing I'll do is I'll cut it up, cut them all roughly to length, so that I'm not planing anything I don't need to be. Obviously leaving excess on the ends, because the planer sometimes messes the ends up. And then I will, yeah, I'll do it. Alright, that's it. That's all planed up. It's a little bit rustic, this oak. It's not totally like highest quality. There's a bit of white edge wood, which hopefully it'll be okay. I'll keep that on the inside, and once it's oiled up I think it'll be okay. Kind of like the rustic thing. So now I'm going to do some more mixing. And hopefully tomorrow, Saturday, I can start framing this out. Lewis is coming any minute. Maybe he can help me. Okay. See you tomorrow. Alright, I'm running out of time, but I'm gonna try and at least get some of it built. I'm just gonna screw it together now, see how it goes. Okay, sorry, didn't film much more of that. It was all a bit frantic, just running out of time basically. But that's the bottom half in, kind of in, loosely in. It fits, and I've checked the diagonals on the door, and that's all square. I've screwed in at the tops of there. There's one screw in each corner just holding it in at the moment. So I think the next thing I need to do is take it out and put in a built-in shelf halfway up these sides, which will stiffen the sides, and I think that'll be enough. I mean, the doors are bloody heavy, but I think it will be enough. It's so strong, this oak, it's just amazing. I think realistically I'm not going to have much more time this week. I've been trying to finish this in time for the video. It's actually a good deadline to have, these videos, because it makes me work just a little bit harder, I think. Don't know if I need to work any harder, but yeah, this is good. This has been a good week. I've mixed an album and I have almost built half a door. And I have learned so much from all of your amazing comments on the last video about the mixing desk. It was actually kind of mind-blowing how much information and feedback and ideas, and it's really given me a lot of things to think about. I think the reality is that I let myself get a little bit rattled by the idea that shit, I've built a massive studio and so it needs to be kind of really like proper and posh and classic looking or something, and some of the comments would agree with that, it seems, but I would say the majority of the comments were way more kind of encouraging, like, you know, this is just my place that I've built with help from everyone else obviously, but you know, this is kind of like just the next step on my journey of being a kind of quirky musician, producer, studio builder, gear collector, and I should just sort of stick to my motto and the thing that has kind of got me to this point, which is just do things in my own way and be open to things to manifest and appear. Anyway, blah blah blah, mumbo jumbo, whatever. The upshot of it is that I have a plan now, and my plan is I think it'll be really cool to have a nice posh mixing desk in here, but I don't think it's very cool to borrow loads of money and buy one suddenly out of nowhere. I think that would be kind of weird, especially on this YouTube channel. You know, you've watched me build this for the last, nearly 4 years, and my studio in Berlin, and like, you know, that's what I do. I kind of gradually just build things, and I think it would be kind of cool if you guys came with me on the journey towards getting a nice posh mixing desk one day when I've earned the money to buy that mixing desk, and I don't have to borrow money to buy that mixing desk. So I thought it would make a much better story and be more in keeping with my ethos if over the next year or so, money I make from recording sessions here will go into a fund, possibly managed by my 13-year-old son Vincent, who's pretty good with money, the only one in this family who's good with money by the sounds of things. And I will save up for that mixing desk. And if you come and record here with me over the next year, then you'll be helping get that mixing desk in here. I already have loads of nice gear. Like that was another theme in the comments was don't bother with a mixing desk, just buy some cool keyboards and some cool mics and yeah, more studio toys. I kind of have that stuff. I really do have a pretty huge keyboard collection, and I have a pretty decent microphone collection, like totally decent enough. It's just the desk really that I'm missing. So that's my plan. If you guys want to come and record here with me, help me earn that money, let's make your records. I'm not actually officially open for business yet. We've got to get this place signed off. But when I do get this place signed off, I'll let you know. And yeah, we can go on this journey together, the journey to the mixing desk. All right, so where was I? Yeah, sorry. All right, thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you again next week. And yeah, gonna go back to mixing Plattenbau now. All right, lots of love, look after each other, and goodbye.